Hi everyone, Lisa here with Mini Me in Tennessee. Today's video is going to be about common rules that we have as weight loss surgery patients and common rules that I break. So if you are interested in this video, just keep watching. Disclaimer, I just want to say that everyone's rules are not the same. Just keep that in mind when we are judging other folks out there in weight loss surgery land. Just because you were given a rule by your bariatric program does not mean that I was, or she was, or he was. And I'm going to show you here in an overlay what my rules were. I found my bariatric program Bible, so to speak, and it will outline some of the rules that I had. Yes, a lot of our rules are the same, but they are different as well. And that's what I'm here to discuss today and to talk about those that I break personally and the reasons or excuses why. I have put together 10 rules. And I'm going to discuss whether this rule actually applies to me, even though it's a common rule in the weight loss surgery community, what my rule was versus this rule, if I break it, when I break it, why I break it, those kinds of things. So let's go ahead and jump on in. The first rule I want to talk about is carbonation. A lot of weight loss surgery patients are told that they can no longer have carbonated beverages. That was not the case for me. My bariatric program only told me to avoid carbonated beverages the first 30 days post-op, which I did. Do I have carbonated beverages now? I do on occasion. I know it's not the best choice. However, I feel in moderation, if someone wants to have a carbonated beverage, they should be able to do that. I have a few ounces and I move on. I do not count it toward my daily fluid intake. When I asked my nutritionist about that rule, because I had heard other weight loss surgery patients say you should never have carbonated beverages again, she said that the reason my particular bariatric program says to avoid them for the first 30 days is simply because it can bother your tummy. And that was correct, because the very first time I tried carbonation after surgery, which was probably 3 or 4 months post-op, it did bother my tummy. And it did for a really long time, so I couldn't have carbonation for a while. But as time went on, I was able to tolerate it better. It just gave me a real full and bloated kind of feeling in my tummy, and it was just simply the bubbles. But if you want to judge me on drinking carbonation, go right ahead, but it's my choice and I choose to have it in moderation. Caffeine. We are supposed to abstain from caffeine after weight loss surgery, or so a lot of people say. My bariatric program does not tell me to abstain from caffeine. They tell me to limit it in moderation. They did tell me to avoid it the first month post-op, but at this point it does not bother me in a negative way, and yes, I do have caffeine. Alcohol. I was told by my bariatric program to avoid alcohol the first year post-op. I did break this particular rule. I think I had a glass of wine it was 3 to 4 months post-op. My husband and I had gone on a trip for my birthday, and I had a glass of wine for the first time with our dinner, and it did affect me. It sure did. I was tipsy very quickly, only after a few sips, and I was really surprised at how quickly it hit me, but it also went away really quickly, which I thought was interesting as well, and that still seems to be the case. But yes, I did break this rule. I do have an occasional glass of wine or a beer. Like it or not, that's my choice. Concentrated sugars. I was told, of course, by my bariatric program to avoid concentrated sugars. And that is a huge rule that I have broken for sure. And I have told you guys many, many times that I am a sugar addict. And bariatric surgery did not change that for me, because it's all up here. Sugar is a compulsive thing for me that I do to try to ease anxiety. And I've done it since I was a child. And that's a very hard thing to get out of the habit of. And as far as my sugar intake goes, I do limit it, but yes, I do have sugar in moderation. When I was in the weight loss phase, I limited sugar a whole lot more than I do now that I am in the maintenance phase. So that's a difference between then and now. What you have to realize, if you're still in the weight loss phase, your diet's gonna change once you hit maintenance. You can have a little bit more carbs. You can have a little bit more of those things that you had been avoiding and abstaining from during the weight loss phase. And a comment that I received recently was I shouldn't be eating breads, rice, pastas. Why? I'm in maintenance. Why can't I have those things? My bariatric program told me I could. So why are you guys telling me that I shouldn't be eating those things? As long as I'm doing it the correct way and having it in moderation, having it on occasion, why shouldn't I have them? I didn't go into this with the mindset that I could never have these things again, because I knew that would set me up for failure. I just don't understand why some people have the attitude that you can never have a piece of cake again or a sliver of a piece of cake again. It's just simply not realistic. It's just not. And I really wish people wouldn't go into bariatric surgery with this mindset, because it's just not reality. On occasion, it's okay to have these things. Even if you're still in the weight loss phase, to have 2 or 3 bites at a birthday party is fine. 2 or 3 bites is not going to cause you to gain 5 pounds. Just saying. Straws. A lot of people in the weight loss surgery community say that they were told by their bariatric program to not drink from straws. That was not the case for me. What the nutritionist said was that they're not going to tell you not to use straws. It's of course up to you. What a lot of people tend to believe is that it puts air in your tummy and just can cause you to be uncomfortable. But I never found that to be the case, and I was pretty much using straws from the very beginning, and I actually found it to be helpful to getting in my fluids. Now, I did avoid them for like the first couple of weeks just because I was hearing it out there in the weight loss surgery community all over the place that you shouldn't be drinking from straws. But once I did it and found that it didn't bother me, I was all about some straws and still do. Everything I drink is through a straw, except for coffee. The drinking and eating rule. I've noticed this is a little bit different for a lot of people. A lot of people have a 30-30 rule where they're not supposed to drink 30 minutes before a meal or 30 minutes after a meal. Some people call it the 30-20-30. My rule was 20-30. I could drink all the way up until I had my meal. And then during the meal, I couldn't drink, and then 30 minutes after, I'm not supposed to drink. Do I break this one? Yep. I drink what I want, and I know it's not the best choice. That's a choice that I make. And I don't drink a lot. If I'm eating and I feel the need to take a sip of water, I take a sip of water. If it's 15 minutes after I've eaten and I feel the need to take a sip of water, I take a sip of water. I don't guzzle it, but I do take a sip of water if I need to cleanse my palate or whatever the case may be. Now, a lot of times I will chew gum afterwards, and that leads me to the next rule. But I do that to kind of keep my mouth saturated so that I'm not thirsting. And that's especially true if I'm eating something that's a little bit higher in sodium. But I've always been allowed to drink up until the meal, and the nutritionist told me that they allow that where other surgeons don't, because they have never seen a problem with someone having something to drink up until their meal. In fact, they felt like it would work better that way because they're filling their stomach full of fluids right before the meal, and therefore maybe not eating as much. So I kind of like that rule. That brings me to chewing gum. A lot of us are told to never chew gum again. This was actually one of the rules given to me by my bariatric program as well. Do I chew gum? Yep, I've already admitted that, so that's another rule that I break, and I've already told you why. And the reason that my bariatric program suggests that we don't chew gum again is in case we swallow it, because our tummies are now so small and so tiny that it can cause problems. I've never been someone who swallowed gum, and that was mentioned to the nutritionist when we had our class before surgery. And she said her response to that was, you may not have ever swallowed gum in the past, but I guarantee you after you have the surgery, it's gonna happen. So that's one that you kind of have to make your own choice for. I have not swallowed a piece of gum since my surgery, thank goodness. I can't tell you what kind of damage it could actually do, but that is another rule that I do break. Physical fitness. Yeah, here's another big one that I break, for sure. Of course, we all know the best thing that we should be doing, even if you're not a weight loss surgery patient, is getting in some kind of physical activity, cardio, strength training on a daily basis. I do not go out of my way to do cardio or strength training or anything like that. I've done Dimsby in the past. It's never worked out for me. I do not have the motivation to go. I have equipment in my home. I have an elliptical. I never use it. I have tried. I have used it in the past. I just can't seem to bring myself to do it on a consistent, regular basis. And as far as strength training goes, I really do need to do that. I see what my body looks like. I see where some strength training could definitely improve the way I look. And I think about cardio and working out and strength training on a daily basis. It's in here. I know I need to do it. All of the things you're getting ready to put in my comments, I have already tried it, I promise. It just doesn't work for me. I do not like it. I never have. As far as being active, I do stay active. I stay on my feet all day long. So I get some calorie burning that way. But it's not something that I'm not saying that I'm never gonna do. I just can't seem to get there. And like I said, put all those comments down there you want. I've already tried it. It doesn't work for me. The buddy system, the gym, the equipment, home methods, videos, YouTube videos. I've tried it all, guys. I've tried it all. Vitamins. Yes. A lot of us battle with the vitamins. And do I break my bariatric program vitamin rules? I do, and let me tell you why. My surgeon is Dr. Stephen Boyce. He is the founder of BariLife Vitamins. And if you watch Nirvana, you've probably heard her mention these in a couple of her recent videos since her last revision. She is currently taking the BariLife vitamins, and they're in a powder form. They do actually have the powder form and also tablets. I cannot do the tablets. They are too big for me to swallow. I get choked on them. I've tried breaking them. I can't do it because of the jagged edges. They told me to file the edges down. Now really? People, am I really gonna sit there and file down the edges of a vitamin when I'm supposed to take 6 a day? Nah, I'm not doing that. I have a video that I did pre-op where I tried every flavor that they had at the time. I've heard that since then they have improved them, and they've actually put out 2 flavors that I have not tried. A lemon came out not too long ago, and I saw on their website today actually that they also have a watermelon flavor that just came out. So I have not tried those 2. They might work, I don't know. Maybe I'll get a sample the next time I'm nearby, and I'll pop in and ask for a sample because they will do that. And if you're interested in those vitamins, send them an email and perhaps they'll send you some samples. I always have their information in my description box below. I just can't do them. So I am therefore breaking the rule because my surgeon's office wants me to only take their vitamins. Of course they do. They sell them. My surgeon is the founder. Of course that's what he wants me to take. One of the things that I do choose to do are gummies because they are easy for me to tolerate. They're easy for me to get down since I have the large tonsils, which are getting ready to come out. Maybe things will change after that. We shall see. But they're easy for me to get down. And I've tried the Talkie tablet kind of chewables. I do not like those. I do not like the Starburst type ones. Those things are nasty. If that's the way I go, I find I don't take my vitamins consistently every day like I should. The only type of vitamin that I have been consistent with are the gummies. And if you want to judge me on that in the comments below, go right ahead. That's what works for me. And then last but not least is weighing daily. My nutritionist advised me not to do this right from the very beginning. Do I break this rule? I don't now. I used to. When you are in that weight loss phase, it's so exciting to get on that scale and see a weight loss. I've been there. I know. Now, how often do I weigh? About once every couple of weeks. My nutritionist has suggested I weigh weekly, and sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I forget. I forget that now. Now that I'm in maintenance, I don't always think to weigh. Used to, it was all that was on my brain. Back in the day when I was in the weight loss phase, I didn't weigh every single day unless I was going through a stall. That just made it worse, right? But I would weigh every 2 to 3 days. We all know it's not a good idea because when you don't lose that 2 or 3 pounds, you get very frustrated and discouraged. And so if you can keep yourself off of the scale and keep yourself to weighing only once a week, it's gonna benefit you greatly. And I'm saying this in hindsight. Trust me, I'm saying this in hindsight because I was there. I understand. Okay, guys, slam me in the comments below if you wish. I know some of you will. Take everything I said with a grain of salt. It's okay to disagree. This is what works for me. I do me, you do you, right? All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.